Well, you know, people they need simple fixes. You know, they need something that they can gravitate towards, and I think something like a jumping jack or promoting walking, I think, is a great thing for people to get on board with. When it comes to the food, how do you coach some of these older guys through the food category? Because I think a lot of people get really comfortable with a lot of snacks and the modern foods that we have.
So journaling, I have guys write it down. So a new guy just signed up with me, and I just left him a message on the way up here, actually, and said, I need you to write down everything you're eating, not ideally what you think I want to hear, but what you have been eating for 2 days. You know, there's studies that have come out, you guys know about, that have proven that when you journal, that in and of itself is going to help you improve the way you eat. Because you're like, oh, God, I didn't realize I ate a bag of chips. So I don't ask people to change everything overnight. It's just a subtle thing because it needs to be sustainable. You know, I don't think any of these diets that are out there in the world today are sustainable for the average person. You know, I did a popular Reels video that blew up. I said keto, intermittent fasting, you know, all of them. And people are like, oh my God, that's great. You know, those work for some people, but I'm talking about the average guy that comes to me that's worked in corporate America for 30 years. He's 50 pounds overweight. It's like, hey man, let's just cut it back a little bit. And then I slowly get him to the point. So if you looked on my phone, I have a WhatsApp thread with guys just prepping food now that have been in my coaching program that have now understood the value of being prepared and having food ready for them. So it's about sustainability.
I guess meal prep is probably a big part of that, as you're mentioning.
Yeah. Well, you could use Icon meals or you prep it yourself. My guys do both. Some of them use Icon meals. Some of them use their own prepping. I mean, one photo on my on my phone today, just beautiful. Guy could start his own meal prep company. He's done such a great job.
Yeah.
And he came to me, he was ready to die, literally.
Wow. The skill of cooking, you know, I think is something that's really left us. And I don't think that people need to be skillful at cooking necessarily, but I think that people don't even know where to start sometimes with cooking eggs and cooking steak and burgers and things like this. Chicken, they don't know how to make these things like flavorful. Do you give them any tips on any of that stuff, or like what's some of your advice there?
Yeah, see how quickly you can pull up this video. You guys are doing an amazing job on this, but I did a video where I show the kitchen appliances that you need to have. A rice steamer, a George Foreman grill, a Ninja blender. So those things make it easy. Who can't plug a George Foreman grill in, throw some garlic powder on top of the chicken, put those bad boys in there, close the lid, and come back in 15 minutes. There's no reason not to be able to cook.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be gourmet food. It just needs to be something that you enjoy. And I think most people would enjoy a nice chicken breast or even a thigh with some garlic on it and salt and pepper, and that's it. You could dunk it in whatever you want to dunk it into right there. Look at this, how efficient we are around here.
We're big fans of air fryer.
Yeah, that air fryer.
Yeah, air fryer.
That's the best $179 I've ever spent. You can put salmon and asparagus in there at the same time, and I don't know how it figures it out, but it cooks both of them perfectly. That's genius. I need the Clark Bartram air fryer. Somebody endorse me. I'm going to get on TV on QVC and have the Clark Bartram air fryer.
Man, you mentioned chicken breast. I can't remember the last time I had a chicken breast. So, like, what do your meals look like? Like, what do you eat on a daily basis?
So I'll get up. This morning I had a handful of oatmeal with some protein powder in it and some, what is that?
Egg whites?
No egg whites. No egg whites. The
seasoning
protein powder.
PB2?
No, what's the, like buckwheat, one of those grains.
Some flax seeds or something like that?
Yeah, one of those things, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
So I'll have that, and then in a couple hours, I'll have some bison and sweet potato mash and some asparagus, like typical bodybuilder sounding food.
Yeah.
You know, I get it all sent to me. Todd from Icon sends me my food, and I just pull it out of the freezer. So I rotate between turkey breast, ground turkey, salmon, chicken, and bison.
Yeah.
And then with some green vegetable and maybe some sweet potatoes. And
you've been doing this for like decades, or eating in that style forever.
Yeah.
I think the message of people, you know, reducing some of the fat that they get from some of their meats is probably pretty important. Sounds like that's what you've done with your diet.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't want too much fat, right? But there's some is good that's just naturally in the meat, right? Anything that's around the edge that people love so much when it's all burnt up. And we all love that taste, but There you go.
It just gets easy to overdo it.
Yeah,
It gets easy to overdo certain foods and
Right.
certain meats that have a lot of fat in them.
Right. So
How are you staying full on some of these lower fat foods? Because like sometimes if I eat like an icon meal, I'll kind of like look around like maybe I should have another one. But
well, I do that sometimes.
Okay.
The other day I ate 2 of them in a row.
yeah, I mean, well, first off, because they're freaking delicious, so that's kind of one of the not an issue, but it's one of the things that just makes you want to grab another one. But what I've noticed for myself is when I have gone lower fat, is I'll be kind of curious about what else I can eat. Versus when I have a little bit more fat, I feel a little bit fuller, and I'm kind of almost disinterested in continuing to eat.
You know, I'll throw an avocado in there or some good fat, right? Like all of this seems like information that's just been delivered a million times over and over again. But I don't think it has, because there are a lot of people out there that still ask, what should I eat? So we make this assumption that everybody automatically knows, but we do because this is the world that we live in. But if I walked into, like, I wouldn't know how to do that. So I would need to learn. You know, and you get an expert or someone that's done it for a long time to teach you how to do it. And it's basic. It's so simple, right?
Power Project family, how's it going? Now, Piedmontese Beef is a company we've been eating literally for years now because they have some of the best beef on the market, tons of cuts, tons of different types of beef. Check them out. Andrew, where can they get it?
At Piedmontese.com. That's PIEDMONTESE.com. And at checkout, enter promo code POWER to save 25% off your entire order. And if your order is $150 or more, you get free 2-day shipping. Links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes.
When I've tried to help people before, just depending on like the style of diet I may suggest to them, or depending on what I say to them, their interpretation of what I said could be, you know, really off the rails different. A lot of times I usually encourage people to eat whole foods for maybe like 2 weeks. Don't even really worry a ton about trying to eat a lot less, because I found that the hardest thing for most people is that they're hungry and that they get cravings. So I'm like, well, let's just make it real simple. And can you eat more whole foods? Let's try that. But then I'll ask them also to send me some pictures of their food, and they'll just have like these gigantic, you know, portions of food. And then I have to kind of say, hey, you know, we got to trim some of this down. So I think that's some of the issue when somebody recommends carnivore or keto or really almost any style of diet, is that people are going to take that and they're going to like run with it. They're going to have, you know, a 12-egg omelet with bacon and cheese and stuff like that first thing in the morning. You're like, I just don't think you're going to be able to burn those calories.
No, because they came to you inactive, right? So then the first thing you do is tell them to eat, and then they just say, oh, I can eat all I want. And I love what you said about whole foods. I used to travel with Jack LaLanne. Some people don't even know
Damn.
Jack LaLanne. Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
That was my guy, man. We hung out, and we had the same contract with a company called Fitness Age. But Jack would always tell me, Clark, if man made it, don't eat it. If man made it, don't eat it. And every time we went to eat, Jack would have a salad with 10 vegetables. And if it didn't have 10 vegetables on it, he would politely have the waitress or the waiter take it back until he got his 10 vegetables.
So he's like, add more vegetables on this?
Add more vegetables. He needed 10 different vegetables on a salad. I'm like, what if they don't have different vegetables back there? You know, they had to figure out something, because that was Jack LaLanne, man. How are you going to tell Jack LaLanne no?
So, wow. Well, let me ask this. Since you were close, like what other, I guess, stuff was he doing that I guess maybe people don't know about? Because that's really interesting. I haven't heard we don't know anyone who's known Jack LaLanne.
Oh, man, Jack and I hung out so much. I got drunk with Jack LaLanne on his 89th birthday.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it. All right. Share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too, so you can get whatever you like from us. All right. Peace.